Geometry 1, Chapter 5 Test, Topic 4. You should know the relationship between congruent angles and congruent sides, and be able to use this information to find missing angles and side lengths. So the relationship between congruent angles and congruent sides. Well, one relationship, the way I like to state it, is that if your triangle has 3 congruent angles, then it has 3 congruent sides. If it has 2 congruent angles, it has 2 congruent sides. And if all 3 side lengths are different, all 3 angle lengths are different also. So it goes both ways. Equal angles, congruent angles cause congruent sides, and congruent sides cause congruent angles. So let's look at the first example. Solve for x in the following problem. We have a triangle here. X is at the bottom. We have 2 60-degree angles and a side length of 7. So what we need to know, right now there are 2 congruent angles. What that means is that this angle across from the side across from the 60-degree angle is going to be congruent to the side across from the 60-degree angle. But that doesn't really help us because we don't know the side over here. So we need another approach. And the other approach is to find the third angle. Are all 3 of these angles equal, or are there only 2 that are equal? So we use the triangle sum to know that the inside angles have to add to 180. So 60 plus 60 is 120. So far we have 120 degrees in the triangle. 180 minus 120 is 60 degrees. This last angle is also 60 degrees. So now our triangle is equiangular. It has 3 equal angles. And if there are 3 congruent angles, what that means is that it also has 3 congruent sides. This triangle is both equiangular and equilateral. The side across from this 60-degree angle, 7, is going to be congruent to the side across from this 60-degree angle, which is x, which means x equals 7. This triangle has 3 congruent angles, so all 3 sides must be congruent also. A 7, a 7, and a 7. Now for triangle B, this triangle has 2 congruent sides. Those 2 sides there are marked congruent. Now we don't know their actual lengths, but perhaps that's not very important for this problem. We'll see in just a minute. But we know that they are congruent. Whatever one length is, the other length will be the same. So 2 congruent sides means there are actually 2 congruent angles. The question is, which 2? Well, you look at the sides. The angles that are opposite the sides are the congruent angles. So here, the bottom side of the triangle is opposite the top angle, and the right side of the triangle is opposite the x, which means this top angle has to also be x degrees. So we have an x, and 40. Now, knowing that these 2 angles are congruent doesn't directly tell us the answer, but it does give us a situation similar to a previous topic where we know that the 3 angles of the triangle add to 180 degrees, and we can make an equation. The first angle, x, plus the second angle, x, plus the 40-degree angle has to equal 180 degrees. And now you can use your algebra skills to solve. X plus x is 2x plus 40 equals 180, combining like terms. Subtract 40 from both sides. 2x equals 140. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 70. Let's check. If this were 70 and this were 70, that would be 140 plus the 40 degrees here. 140 plus 40 is in fact 180. If these are both 70 degrees, we have two congruent angles, which is perfect because we have two congruent sides.